Hello and welcome to the holiday edition of Dolly Diaries 2022. I don't have really anything festive in this video.
Would you like me to start singing carols?
God, no. There's nothing strong to drink around here. Just your Pepsi, which I don't like. So most of the footage from the first half of the video is from back in September, October. And I just didn't think I'd have enough of things filmed around November, December to put in a holiday edition. And we don't have a special intro, obviously, that's festive. And we didn't do our Christmas skit this year, which I'm sure most people don't care about. But we planned to, we had it all mapped out. But life's just really busy. And we both got sick in December, back-to-back weekends. For that reason, we only can film on weekends, and this time of year there's very limited lighting. And then the weekend after that, which would have been the last weekend to film that before Christmas weekend, we had a bunch of appointments and stuff crammed in, and we knew we wouldn't have enough time on Sunday to film all of it because it's complicated. It's a very involved one. And
the whole month of December, honestly, it just
Colleen's been doing a lot of paperwork for her new job, and I was a lot sicker than she was, so I was down with the count for a few days. So I just thought I'd explain that because I know it's going to be a disappointing episode in that way. That's why we didn't have a Christmas.
I'll still watch it, Shelly.
There's nothing particularly festive for most of this video. It's not very holiday-ish. We didn't decorate also because we have our hamster Peanut, who is a new addition to the family. We got, well, it's not really that new. It's March. We got him in March. From Colleen's friend who didn't want him anymore. And his enclosure is on a little table. We set the mini tree, and I only have enough decorations really for that area because I don't really like decorating for the holidays. And I can't put the mini tree anywhere else because Oliver will get into it.
Yeah, he would not. If we put it on this table, he would have it down in the first day.
Yeah, and so, we didn't decorate or anything, so there's none of that.
But I think Peanut brings joy year round.
He's way cuter than a Christmas tree.
And he's so fun.
So I apologize for the long absence in uploading videos and for the lack of festivities this year. We were just really busy, and I haven't really been in the mood to film a lot of the time. I have a lot of videos privated, but they're all mostly transformation type videos, and I'm trying to spread those out. So there are always videos that I could upload, but I don't want to upload too many of the same types of videos, and with transformations especially, I have no way of guaranteeing when I'm going to have another one to film. And this flea market season was really slow. We only filmed 2 from the flea market season. The other ones just were luck that we happened to get other things that we could film. But that's why I don't want to upload all of those just to have something to watch every week, because A, you'll get bored, and B, then what if we don't have anything to film next year for flea market season?
Right.
Because we almost didn't this year. So yeah, that is why. But I hope you enjoyed this video anyways, and let's get on with the vlog.
I finished off my last episode of Dolly Diaries with a clip of me dusting my Bratz dolls, and obviously in that time, since I filmed that last clip, I moved into my next room, which is my studio area, and I have to do this huge Bratz shelf that's behind me in a lot of videos with the 3 really long shelves. Now, there's a really specific way that I do this if I'm just dusting the dolls and I'm not resetting the shelves or anything, or deep cleaning them like I did last year. So I included a clip here in case you were curious. Now, if I'm doing this on the upper 2 shelves, I have to stand on a chair because I'm short, but I filmed this clip with the lower shelf. So I always start with a group of dolls that are sitting in the front, and I place them in the exact order from left to right that I had them on the shelf. And you can see I put them next to the little angels castle, and then the dolls that are standing, I dust and lay them down in the front. You can see I'm pointing it out there in that clip, and that way I can just dust the actual segment of the shelf and then put the dolls back in the exact order that I had them placed the first time, because I spend a lot of time figuring out who fits where, who's like a fall risk, etc. Or in the case of my top shelf, I always keep my Pretty and Punk Chloe's really accessible because we use them as mini Shelly in like different photos and as told by dollies and stuff, so it's just easier to have them there. And you can see as I'm putting them back up, I'll comb them, and in a very unsophisticated manner, I put the comb in my mouth. And I'll just do this the whole length of the shelf, moving a few dolls at a time. And when I'm at the other end, where I'm not close to this like cube organizer that my little angel's castle is on, I just put the dolls on top of my doll house. I clear that off, all the dolls that like display there. I'll move them over to my art desk, and then I'll just use that space to put my dolls. So if you have really big shelves with a lot of dolls and the idea of like completely dismantling them is daunting, and like in my case, I don't always have a lot of time in one go to do this, maybe just like half an hour here and there, and I don't want my cat Oliver to bother the dolls if I leave them on the floor. This is a really good way around that, so I can just dust them in little segments, and I can do like maybe one of the big shelves at a time without it feeling overwhelming. And I only have to do this honestly once a year. This room doesn't get very dusty. There's only one area that gets dusty. It's right by my desk where my Bratz and American dolls are, but I swear it had been over a year since I dusted these dolls, and you couldn't even see dust on them. Probably because I'm always in this room cleaning the floor and sweeping and stuff, and the cats don't hang out in here. But it's a very relaxing process once you get the hang of it.
I thought I'd show you a really quick flea market haul. It might be one of the last weeks we go because it's getting really cold out, but we finally caught a wind of good luck at the end of the summer, which is great because this whole season's been mostly kind of a bust, but once we started finding American Girl clothes, that brought us some good luck. So there's this awesome Descendants Maleficent doll that I got for $3 from the elderly couple we buy a lot of our toys from. Specifically, a lot of my Monster High dolls came from them, and a lot of my Descendants dolls, now that I think about it. Her dress has a hole that I'm going to need to fix, but she is so cool. I've wanted this Maleficent doll since this pack came out in stores, and I actually have the Mal that was sold in the pack with her. It's just the standard signature Mal. But she's got this awesome glittery makeup, and she's not really that dirty. But the even more unexpected find was Royal England Barbie. So this was like kind of like the predecessor to the Dolls of the World line. So I have her box, and then you can see I slipped the doll out of the tray. Now, she was already taken out and displayed. She's just tied back in with like one of those bread bag ties. And you can see she's wearing her shoes, but her stand's in there, her little pamphlet, her scepter. She's complete. And I already have this Barbie. I'll show you my old one when I bring her up to take the new Flickr photo, but my old doll did not have any of her clothing pieces when I got her. I didn't even know who she was when I bought her 10 years ago. So I recognized this doll, and I was super excited because I love dolls from the late 70s, early 80s. She's dated 79. She was $5. It was hard to tell what condition she was in because you can't really see it now, but this cellophane is all yellowy. But luckily, because she had been taken out and displayed, she's not like experiencing the same problems that a fully sealed doll from this era would have. And the cool thing is there's actually these cutouts that you can take from the box so you can play with them with the doll. And there's this really beautiful box art. My favorite kind of doll packaging is like the kind with drawings, and back in these days they didn't have digital art, so this was all stuff that would have been hand drawn by someone, which is really awesome. This is my old Royal England Barbie, who's wearing this pretty vintage fashion pack from Majestic Blue, I think. When I got her, she actually didn't have fingers. Her hands had cleanly been cut. So this is a body donor. I don't remember when she got it. It's actually not the right country make. She's Taiwan, like this lady. This body's Philippines, but it's a really great color match. And I got her on Father's Day 2012. In a little basket with one of my Rockers Barbies. I think she was totally naked. So it's really cool having the complete version, even though this doll had been pulled out of her box. Everything was there still. So this is a momentous occasion.
We found it!
Explain what happened.
Okay, so a couple months back I took this off of Willa.
It's our Hugs and Well Wishes.
Yes, our Hugs and Well Wishes outfit. I took it off of Willa a couple months ago to put her in pajamas for one of the Dolly Diaries thumbnails. It disappeared. It has been nowhere to be found. It's been driving me crazy, and the reason we realized it was missing is because we found the headband and its empty bag. It was in the bag for the Garden Adventure outfit, which Gwen is wearing.
Yep.
But I figured out it was in the wrong bag, but it didn't help me find it because the bag was missing and everything. The wrong bag that it was in. I have torn apart the basement. I have looked on top of those wardrobes, thinking maybe I set it there when I was getting something out of the wardrobe. I've opened the wardrobes and felt around on the bottom, thinking maybe I set it down in there rather than on the shelf if it was dusty. I have looked in every American Girl doll drawer. I have looked everywhere for this. And Shelly finally thought, because those used to be her bureaus when she was a kid.
Yeah, in the other room.
The ones in the other room. And we used to keep it, the welly clothes in there until they got too big
We
for the
moved
drawer.
them into this one where our American Girl shoes used to be because we bagged the shoes with the clothes now.
It was right before we moved the clothes too that it went missing. And it's just a
You're not supposed to be over here. The baby gate is here to keep you out.
He walked in. And it's been driving me crazy. And because Shelly remembered losing our Anastasia paper dolls behind that bureau, like behind the drawer.
It was a desk. Your desk.
In the desk,
Your metal
yeah.
desk.
Shelly thought, well, maybe it fell behind the drawer, and I was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna go check because we were.
I thought you already had because that's usually where I check it.
It is found, and I didn't. This was part of why I changed Courtney last night, but not Gwen. And the reason I didn't change Gwen is because I haven't even been able to think about Welly Wishers since May.
I knew it.
So happy.
It's not like we are careless when we bring, like, they're always put in special containers to be transported.
Yeah.
I couldn't be any more organized.
Just make.
I have organizers for my organizers.
Organizers for your organizers. She really does.
Come on, Oliver.
You gotta get
It's time to go.
We had this idea to do a Flea as my story for like a really nice album cover, and we just got the LOL Clubhouse, which has this very industrial look. Ellie and I were talking about this at breakfast yesterday before I went to work. And the idea just kind of stuck in my head, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do this. Only have 6 Flavors dolls. We have this Liam, who we got boxed, this Liam, who we got used, another boxed Liam, this Happy D who we got used, Trey who was also boxed, and Tika who we got used. The 3 that we got boxed, we actually got all 3 of them from the same seller at our regular flea market. We got him from this couple we always buy from. I feel like we got one of the girls from them too, but then we got the other girl at like a Salvation Army. Anyway, but Shelly had this really cool idea because we were talking about, you know, making it look very industrial, very graffiti. Shelly was talking about, oh, well, you can use the car that's missing a door. Our dad's best friend pulled this out of the trash like a long time ago, probably 2012 or 2013. Shelly had that idea, and she also thought it'd be really cool I painted these toilet paper rolls gray to look like pipes. That was Shelly's idea. And I wanted like a trash can. Shelly said, oh, you can use a tin can, and it was my idea to like pile stuff up in it to make it look like refuse. And then Shelly said I could use like some of the washers. I thought this kind of looked like a tire iron. There's another one over by the car. I thought it was going to be hard to get him to hold this basketball, but he really fought me on the beer. I think Trey is telling kids not to drink because he would not hold his beer. He just kept dropping it. I had to use a lot of putty, and see, it looks like it's going to fall back down. And then I also had trouble with these. These are Generation Girl Tori's comic books, but I had to putty them shut because Shelly just laminated all our cardboard stuff. They didn't want to stay shut. I thought Liam could look like he was spray painting the wall while taking a lunch break.
I bought a second unicorn. Dun, 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 dun. This is the old unicorn that they've had for a year now. And they have a bunch of other like animal themed cuddlies on Chewy, but the turtle is nice, but the bottom came unstuffed really quickly. The narwhal was terrible quality, and I want to try the elephant sometime, but that one's expensive. So when I had to buy them more food, I decided to get this so I could qualify for free shipping. And look, Poppy's in it. Oh, she figured it out.
Ours used to have the stars and the gold on the horn.
But, you know, it gets washed 2 times a week.
This fur isn't as fluffy. You would see the difference.
Much more hygienic.
And then the purple pad inside it is actually a separate piece, which that's all one piece.
Yes. So I won't have to turn this one inside out when I wash it. I'll just take the...
Which might actually help the fur clean out better. Like the top fur.
The top fur usually cleans out fine.
Really?
Because it's like only like some
it doesn't
surface
get yellow
contact.
stains like Winnie?
No. Isn't it because this popping can fit in that? She's huge.
Oliver knows you have a camera out and he wants to say hello.
Hey, Barbie. So I finally got a Bratz doll at the flea market this year. It's a very rare find indeed. Because when I do find Bratz, they're typically dolls that I already have. And I already technically had this 2002 Funk and Glow Jade, but I knew I had her spare outfit, and this doll was so nice. And she didn't look this nice when I found her. She was, you know, dirty and her hair was wadded up, but I could tell her saran was still shiny, her face paint was beautiful, she still had her glitter on. We got her for $1, and she was wearing an Express It Chloe shirt and Beach Party Chloe bikini bottoms. I washed her up yesterday, and today she's getting dressed and photographed. And this is my old Funk and Glow Jade. I had another doll, my Funk Out Jade, wearing this outfit for a long time. That's who these earrings were made for. And she needed to change outfits so she can wear something on display, obviously. I still don't have any of her clothes. I've had her for years. And I thought, ooh, a 2018 Collector Jade has this fierce outfit. And originally I was kind of not using these, A, because, again, I don't get many thrifted Bratz anymore. I just don't find them. So I haven't needed to grab outfits for any of those dolls. And B, I thought maybe I'd want to swap all of them into their second looks on display sometime. But for now, I'm going to use it on Funk Out Jade. And I paired these, I think they're Rock Angels earrings. This outfit is fierce. It's one of the coolest. And I'm going to put them back on display.
This is a photo I took for a Flickr post that I actually started writing in, I think, 2017. So I wrote it a long time ago, and then I realized it was mostly done, and that it didn't really need much added to it to be made live. And I realized that I mentioned a lot of American Girl dolls in the post. And then there were dolls that we've gotten since I did the post, like Emerald and Kanani. some of our Cabbage Patch dolls that really fit the theme of the post. In addition to American Girls that I already mentioned, and since Cabbage Patch dolls are closer in size, I figured, oh, well, I'll add a couple of them to this photo too, because I wanted to mention some of them in the post. I used the background for Samantha's scenes and settings. I love this set. I want more scenes and settings because they're so fun to photograph with. I did have to like kind of putty it to the table because this side is like heavier than that side because it's toward the back of the booklet. This is a used Our Generation cooler that I think we got in a bin. The hamburger and corn go to our Barbie food truck because it's like one of our Barbie food trucks is like made more for like a child to play kitchen in. The chocolate bar and the Oreos are from some Amazon food we just got. And Shelly's had this picnic set literally forever. I just think it looks very cute. I was going for like outdoor vibe, and Shelly was actually one who said maybe I should use the 18-inch dolls and do, I think she was even the one who said a picnic scene. Hope when it's live you all enjoy it as much as I do. This is one of my photos in my new Molly series of photos that I started working on the last couple months. This is the one I'm most excited about because ever since I was a little kid, I wanted, like before they even made an Emily doll, I wanted like to have like in the book like Molly and Emily in their matching party outfits. Now these don't exactly match because this is my old one from 20 years ago. And this is the new one. And I do notice the foiling on the crown is a little bit different. This is a more yellow tint. The reason I put Emily in the brand new one is because I thought because I could have her hair behind her so you could really appreciate the puffy new sleeves. These chairs are a nightmare to work with, which was why I only sat one doll. And I hope you guys aren't tired of seeing my flea market Molly, but she's like my perfect model. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of her over the next few months. It's kind of a pain digging out the tea set because I actually have two tea sets, or most of two tea sets, because when mine first came here, there were some broken pieces when it came in the mail. So like this is one that Shelly glued together. It's a little out of focus. It's kind of a pain digging through because besides the mostly two Molly tea sets, I also have my childhood. It's like a, one of those ceramic tea sets for kids to play with. I mostly just used one tea set for the photo, although I did sneak in an extra spoon for the sugar bowl because it looked realistic that way. While I was digging this out, I'm really impressed I still have all 10 candles from the cake, by the way, because they come off. I noticed there's a problem with the bottom of this because it got stuck to one of those like scented things we had in the I had it in Molly's trunk, which is probably why they say not to store it near plastic, so you live and you learn. This the table I got in 2003 when Shelly got Addie's head replaced. This, I believe I got in 2001 from my report card when Shelly got her bitty baby doll. And then the tea set, I think I got for Christmas 04, maybe my birthday 04. I think it was my birthday 05, right after Christmas 04.
She's naked.
Are you happy?
She reeks of the gel I just pulled.
Chris is just photobombing now. I don't remember what year I got the party games. Probably 04 or 05. It was like a later set I got. Same with the party treats. But, part of why I'm taking this photo series is because me and both my parents spent a lot of time completing this set. And the reason this is so exciting is because, like I said when I was a kid, I always wanted Emily and Molly in their matching party pinafores. This is the one I just got yesterday. It's the brand new one, the new release. I always thought, oh, well, too bad they don't make an Emily doll because all I need to do is buy a second pinafore and another Bennett. And they actually made Emily her own dog, Yank, but he looks a lot like Bennett. But they actually made it so you could tell them apart, which I would have just settled for buying two Bennetts if I had to as a kid, if they'd made Emily when I was growing up. But yeah, so this is really, really special to me. This is like a dream come true. This is a fantasy photo. So I've been doing some rearranging. Top two drawers are Bitty Baby and Bitty Twin clothing. The other three are for Girl of the Day and Girl of the Year. And the problem I was dealing with is before I had like things like coats and Halloween costumes and like sporting gear, anything that wasn't regular day wear, I had in this drawer for the Girl of Today Truly Me type dolls. This drawer I had all the regular day wear. The problem was this drawer here had all the Girl of the Year clothes, and it was like It was so full, I couldn't even close it. It was already bad, but then we got Krista, which led to Shelly tracking down some of Krista and Kanani's things on eBay and Mercari. And the problem was that it really couldn't close, so I thought, well, there really wasn't much in this drawer. It's like maybe if I merge the two of them into that one drawer, because I think this is the biggest drawer in the bureau, it'll work. But as you see, this is just their regular clothes. It's really, really full. So I was like, crap, that's not going to work. But I really wanted to divide our Girl of the Year clothes between the two drawers. So I have like from Lindsay to McKenna in this one now. And everybody else, so Sage and After in this drawer. And it does look like there's some growing room in here, but also some of Sage's stuff, like I think all Sage's clothes really, are being worn, including her parade outfit with its big hat. Part of why we have the problem with the fitting is because now we put shoes in the bags, which is making our lives so much easier, but it's taking up a little more space in here. So now we're in the blue room. And this drawer here, Shelly has to make a label for it still because I just did this yesterday. This here used to have our real baby clothes for our Cabbage Patch dolls. So I put all this in here and it fits, and there's a decent amount of growing room. The only thing we regularly add from American Girl seems to be the pajama sets.
Peanut, are you eating your paper towel roll? You really like that, don't you? Doesn't even notice I'm here.
So we're doing some American Girl photography this weekend. I have a lovely Krista here wearing this cheerleading costume from American Girl that we got on eBay actually. You can see there's a few other eBay pieces, but the reason that we got these outfits is because they were in a lot with... Where is she? Oh, she's in a partial state of undress. Addie's kite flying / flower picking / blue dress.
/ dress and bouquet. It had like 4 names.
I've wanted this forever, but when the year it retired, I hopped on Cyber Monday hoping to get some stuff, and I ended up getting her, what was it, her?
Plaid summer set.
Plaid summer set. But this had just sold out, so I wasn't able to get it, and it's stupid money on eBay. I just didn't get it with the bow, but it was in a lot with those pieces I showed you, this Bitty Baby Sleeper, which this is the one my baby came in. But my baby sleeper, so this is my childhood sleeper, and you can see that it looks like kind of faded, and that's because when I started collecting them again, I went through my childhood clothes and there was some like stains, and I didn't know how to wash the clothes properly, so instead of just soaking it in some OxyClean, I tried to like spot treat it with bleach, and the fabric was wet still because I had washed it in some laundry detergent, and you can see it like discolored around here and faded little bows, plus it's actually a little bit picked at up here too. So I was really excited to see this in the lot, and I wanted this as bad as that, and because they were together, I was like willing to bid a little bit higher, which only one person had bid, so we got the whole lot for like $40, and there was this outfit on Kanani, plus another swimsuit for Jess, and
another color block dress,
and
some spare underwear for Samantha that are actually worse than 80 Sam's, so no one's wearing them.
Yep, so there was a lot of like little useful bits and bobs, and Kanani and Krista are my 2 newest dolls, and I haven't redistributed my photos yet, and I thought, well, I might as well wait because I might get some things on sale or whatever, and I ended up getting some used pieces, so they're still behind on outfits, but yeah, because I try to keep that album, like all of my Girl of Today type clothes, equal. But I'm very excited. It's a little chaotic in here. Some people are in holiday clothes, Sage and Kira for instance, and some people, like Jess, are clearly not in seasonally appropriate attire. Check out Lainey. Lainey looks killer in Chris's springtime set, which I got this really cheap on eBay because the shoes were discolored, and I was able to just paint them with some acrylic paint and fabric medium, and now you would never know the difference. You can see a lot of them are wearing Girl of the Year clothes right now. Like Isabel looks killer in just sweater outfit. I went a little overboard with stuff I made for that. Oh, my babies! I love them in these meat sleepers. I was really disappointed when I finally got Bitty Baby, and the original sleeper had just retired, but Jelly very rarely has this on because I don't know how long she'd been wearing it when I got her, and it was all covered in like chocolate milk stains or some kind of scary brown stains, which interestingly my childhood baby sleeper also had what looked like a little chocolate milk on it, but I don't know if it was from storage because I was really careful with her stuff. But it's so happy. I'm so happy to see her in this. But Jelly pulls so yellow in any kind of photo she's in with Biddy because the Pleasant Company dolls have like zero face paint and like hair paint basically. And they, oh, Biddy, down baby. And they just pull really yellow in photos. Whereas my baby actually has some discoloration from my years of compulsive cleaning her from stress and anxiety as a kid, but it's all on her back for some reason, so she actually doesn't photograph badly from the front. It's just like her lower limbs, sometimes you'll see a little bit of it. So excited, they're gonna stay in these. And Krissa is getting naked, and Keisha's gonna wear the new Bitty Baby dress calling Smushing. So I got a new pack of beads, which is ironic because I just filmed my bead collection. This was actually free. I do Amazon Vine reviews. This is actually only the second item I've ever reviewed because I'm only going to get free stuff if I can actually use it. It has letters and little clay flowers and smiley faces and shells and hearts and all of these like tiny little clay beads that are the perfect size for doll jewelry, and some of them are two-toned. So that's why I got it, and I just reviewed it, and yeah, I'm gonna reorganize this because it's not practical for my use. Like, I'm gonna put these like elastic cords separate and kind of regroup things by similar like beads that I already have. So I did my reorganizing. What I decided to do is I had these really tiny clay beads that I got at Walmart that I had before near my clay flowers, but which I keep near regular flowers. But I moved them in here. They needed to go into 2 compartments, which is fine because I have some empties. Then I had a bunch of these same letter beads left over from another kid's art set that I combined with the ones from this set, and these are the bigger ones that I already had. And then these are all from the dollar store, and they fit in the big compartment where the cord and the tools go, but I'm just gonna keep these in my Big Daddy. Then the clay flowers that were in here I put with these that I got at Michael's. They're actually the same. Some of them are identical, others have smiley faces. And then I put the smiley faces and fruit ones in here because these are like my random shaped charms and whatnot. I wanted to organize based on like how I use things. So for instance, like these are the hearts. I combined the 2 different styles of hearts. And you can see next to it I have other hearts. And that's the thing, like when I use stuff, I use it by, you know, like if I'm looking for hearts or stars or these shell-shaped things or letters and thin clay ones. And I just realized what I could put in those 2 empty compartments. These larger letter beads that like, they hang like this. I don't have that many left, but they were in here, and I feel like this is where I'm going to be adding more because I buy charms in different shapes at Walmart, whereas I have no need to be buying like these thin clay ones, and the only ones I've ever seen at Walmart were these teenies.
Say hey, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver climbed across the kitchen table
Oh god.
out of nowhere and climbed right onto her lap while we were sitting here drinking
To
tea.
do this all the time when Andy would get up on the stools, but Andy's too arthritic to do that now. Not you. Come back.
He loves you, Mom.
It's like, you're too fat for this.
Yeah, that's a lot of cat. But he's so cute.
I'm Oliver and I'm obese. I don't know what brought this on.
I don't know, it was random. We just suddenly, for
Saw
no
me,
reason,
like, trucked it over.
just
You're not
decided.
allowed on the table. Did you know Oliver is named after the cat from Oliver and Company?
Just so cute. Andy's name is for like Raggedy Andy. We were gonna get a girl cat instead of Oliver and name her Ann. So we had Raggedy Ann and Andy. But we wanted the boy, so
Well, when
he's
we
just
got
Oliver.
to the people's house, Oliver ran by the guy's legs, and as soon as he opened the door, Dad and I were standing there. I fell in love with him. And the people told us that they kept trying to talk everybody out of buying Oliver because he was so friendly. And when he was filling out the paperwork, Oliver was playing with the guy's pen. He's such a ham.
We got the best kitten.
He's not really a rag doll. We didn't get any actual papers with him.
No, he's just a fat Siamese.
Fatty Siamese.
She's a good Siamese.
But he's 15, you know. He might not look or act it. But this Googie is 15 and Andy is 16.
He's so handsome.
I love you. I love you, YouTube.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, you can't leave even like a salad out around him. He'll eat it. He has
lucky we love you.
That's why he's fat. He's like, he didn't put him on a diet, but he eats everything.
I love you, Cookie.
Say bye, Gertrude.
Say bye.
Bye. We got this enormous box this morning when I came home from Walmart, and this was before 9 o'clock in the morning. I see this box on the porch, and we hadn't ordered anything. And okay, you be nice.
Don't chew anybody's hands.
I thought it was from FedEx because there's been this whole thing where someone else's package keeps getting delivered to our house, and I've calling out to call FedEx, and they picked it up, and then they re-delivered it the next day, and then this guy shows up 2 days after that to pick up the package. It's like, so it was a whole thing. So I thought, I was mad. I was like, tell me it's not that FedEx box.
And I'm like, and then I'm at work and I get this text from Shelly. And it's very hard to concentrate when your sister texts you.
So when I saw it, I was like, okay, that's not the FedEx box because it's not smashed up. And somebody sent us a Christmas gift. And this is a little card. Thank you, Kelly. I love this card. It's adorable because this half looks like Roxy and this half looks like our guinea pig Nevaeh. And Oliver likes the new dolls. So I am going to film a transformation video on these, but it's going to be a while before it gets up because I've been kind of trying to space those out because we only have 2 from this flea market season. I apologize if the carpet looks a little dirty. I have to vacuum in here.
Just so you know, I always tell, all my friends have come over and tell me, oh my god, your house is spotless. I could eat off the floor and she thinks it's dirty.
I do.
Shelly's a little neurotic. She takes after our meme.
I didn't film us going through it because I had already waited all day. I opened it just to see.
Yeah, she sent me this text at work and she's like, someone says here's this box of dolls and I see this adorable Cabbage Patch and I'm like, well now I just want to go home.
I know, and I was like dying all day to go through it, but I'm like, no, we have to go through it together. But I did see a lot of them. Now my favorite is this Broadway.
Yes, me too.
Is this Broadway Belle. I've wanted her since I found out she existed back in 2011. She's like chef's kiss. She's amazing. I'm gonna have to make her a stand. And then I have this holiday Snow White, but mine I got for 50 cents like, I don't know, 11 years ago at the flea market in 2011. And this doll is amazing. She doesn't have her shoes, but like she has this muff and all the gold foiling on her outfit.
She makes yours look tragic.
Yeah, and one of my other ones doesn't even have her outfit. And then I also really like, I think this is Way to Wonderland Raven. She's fabulous.
I like this Kid Katie.
Of course you do. I think that was put in there just for you.
I had a Katie that looked a lot like her as a kid.
There's these really nice Cave Club dolls. You have Slate, and like their stuff's all tabbed.
Yeah, and they have like their pets and their
all their fixins are in here, which is really cool. And then there's this outfit. I mean, I'll give you all like a close-up of these, like in that transformation video and stuff, obviously. But yeah, this is just some of the cool things. Like clearly this person knows my taste. Disney, Ever After High, even the cabbies. This is cool. This is like one of the twins.
I love him.
So I've already decided what I'm naming him and the girl cabbie. So I've been rereading the Laura Ingalls Wilder book series. I was obsessed with those as a kid and I haven't read them since I was probably 13. And I just finished, and I want to name him Almanzo, and her Laura. They're so cute! They're a couple, even though they're from different companies. I didn't even think she was real at first. I've never seen...
With the pink eyes.
Yeah, I wonder what Mattel doll that is.
I'm also curious about, like, were her eyes pink originally, or did they age that way?
I don't know, and she's got pierced ears. She's really cool looking.
Yeah.
There's this really awesome bunny doll, which I got one of these last year, but she was missing her hands and her headband.
The dress is from the UK.
Oh. That might not be her dress then. Maybe it's something else?
I don't know, but it's actually a really nice dress.
Got Lorelai and Emberly. some of these like newer Disney ones, these cool DC superheroes, these would have been great for our Be Your Own Hero Flickr post. This movie Magic Mary Kate, which I have plenty of movie magic clothes that she can wear.
I think this is a Disney Store Tinkerbell or something.
I think so. It looks like a pretty legit outfit. And there's this really cool, I don't know if she's a Disney animator, Snow White, but she'll be great in my cabbie cradle with my other Disney dolls of this size. It's very awesome. Some of them
love her dress.
have their stands still, like Broadway Belle. I have so much fun cleaning these, and I will film a video, because we haven't bought anything of this magnitude in, like, over a year.
Oh yeah, we haven't gotten a haul this big in ages.
And I don't, like, we don't really buy things this big anymore, because, you know, there has to be a good reason for us to take on a bunch of dolls, because we have such a big collection, and, you know, spatially and stuff, sometimes it makes more sense to spend a little more money on less dolls and get, like, the ones you specifically want. But this is exciting. This is, like, flea market gold. I would have bought this at the flea market.
Yeah, just for Broadway Belle.
Just for Broadway Belle alone. She's looking up that.
I was trying to see if the dress had a tag because it's really pretty, but I agree with you that it's almost too good to be real.
Yeah, it looks like maybe some sort of like brass key.
It reminds me of brass key or like something homemade, but it's gorgeous.
Well,
it has like an under.
Yeah, I don't think that's definitely not for her because she's a newer one. That's like the half printed era. Or the molded clothes era. Where is that other delightful Aurora doll? Ah, the molded outfit. I have, she's in the same wave as one of my Jasmines.
Ooh.
And, this Ariel, which I have one of these Ariels. Remember I had to make her a skirt?
Oh, yeah.
Because one of your friends from work gave you some of them. Very cool. Yay. So if you're familiar with my sister, then you know she has a very, very, very bad addiction to Molly McIntyre. We have her 80s Molly, the grubby. The one I spent like 10 hours fixing up, who I hate to photograph because her wig is like...
Be nice to my 80s Molly.
We have Colleen's first Molly that she totally trashed as a kid that has a cyborg eye, but at least a cooperative wig. She has very nice bangs. We have Colleen's flea market purchased Molly, who's actually from the same era as her childhood one.
In my opinion, she's the prettiest doll in the house.
It's all she talks about. We have 2004 Molly, Colleen's gift for Christmas 2004 that Dad got her because this doll was so schlubby. And who's this? Oh, this is another Molly that didn't exist here before. And Be Forever Molly isn't photographed with them, but she's on the bed. Colleen, would you like to explain?
So, for Christmas, Uncle Ray got us each an American Girl doll this year, and I was not expecting. He usually gets his Barbie-sized dolls.
He always has.
I saw her feet first, and they were bare, so I didn't know who she was, because I was just looking at feet, and then I got distracted because Shelly opened her doll. And then I realized it was Molly, and I spent the whole night just holding Molly and carrying Molly around and showing Molly to people. I felt like I was, anywhere between 9 and 18 again, because I used to carry my childhood Molly around at every holiday.
So the funny thing is, Ray, who's not really our uncle, but we're related to him through our aunt. It's complicated. Anyways, he gets us a doll every year for Christmas. He has since 2013, and this year he got us American Girls, and he got them on eBay, and he didn't know Colleen had Molly's. Like, he doesn't know that Molly's her favorite, and he's done this before where he gave me, like, my first Barbie ever without knowing it, and he just so happened the one he decided was mine and the one he decided was hers, he gave Colleen Molly. I mean, how crazy is that?
It's Molly!
And she didn't have glasses. Colleen had a few extra pairs that Mom and Dad bought her as a kid because she broke them all the time. So she's wearing, she didn't have glasses and she didn't have socks and shoes. So these are a pair of my Samantha doll's shoes she's borrowing, which are the same, and the sock and shoe set shoes. She didn't have her underwear either, right?
Nope, no. Those are, I bought a second Molly outfit for my childhood doll when I was in my late teens, a little bit before I got 04 Molly. And those underwear are from that outfit. But the 04 Mollies are the same.
The dickie, the sweater, and the skirt she was wearing. And her hair was really trashed. Like, her wig gave me a hard time. Like, she has very nice part line in the back. Like, it's beautiful. Like, none of her other Molly dolls have such a beautiful parting in the back. But her hair was like kind of dry and frizzy, and I thought, oh, I'll boil wash it, it'll be fine. And I noticed it was kinking up in the boil wash, and not because it was too hot. So then I had to flat iron it like twice, and it's still like a little bit drier and poofier than the others, but it's a lot better than it was. It looked gnarly. I already cleaned them.
Oh, and dressing these guys for this photo was quite an adventure because I knew everything that went to this doll, like out of a lineup. I knew exactly what was hers, down to like the underwear and the shoes, like because it's my childhood stuff and I know how it's worn. Oh, for Molly's stuff has always been indistinguishable from like the stuff I got around the same time that was like the new meat outfit, but I knew what she belonged in. And these two, the nicer, because Flea Market Molly is just a little bit newer by like maybe 10 or 12 years or so than 80s Molly, but they're very much compatible. So I just figured whatever was in better shape was probably Flea Market Molly's for the most part, unless I knew specifically like this shoe. These shoes are very interesting. But 80s Molly sweater is actually, I don't know for sure if this is hers or if the one I still have downstairs is hers. They're worn identically and everything. It's the weirdest thing. And I got it at the flea market, so I don't know which is which.
So yes, this is Molly Madness. And this is the doll Ray picked for me. And as soon as I unwrapped her, I saw this hat and I got excited because I had just been thinking about this outfit like a few weeks before. This is the very first Girl of Today outfit they made from 1995. It was only out that year. And this is number 13, so she looks a lot like Valerie, who's number 16, and if you don't have number 2, which is Amber, people often mistaken her, but she has like a darker skin tone. I'll show you a comparison because I'm going to take a photo of them naked for Flickr. It can be really complicated if you don't own them to distinguish them, but she has like Molly's hair color, whereas number 16 has Samantha's. And I was so excited when I opened her. I like practically crapped my pants, but not really. I just love her so much. It's so cool, so nostalgic. And she was obviously owned by another collector because she, when I took her apart to wash everything, because obviously like I had their stuffing out and I washed their bodies, she'd been restrung by somebody and not like factory style. And then she was wearing a pair of Josephina's Christmas dress shoes. We happen to already have these shoes, which I thought were an older, like, Pleasant Company variation of Josephina's Christmas dress shoes, because I got it back in 2012. It was one of the first American Girl things I bought on eBay. And
we had a very embarrassing and untrue comparison photo.
It's probably my
Flickr
collection video, too, which I'll have to make a note of or edit that bit out. Yeah, so we had her shoes and it worked out perfect, and I made her these earrings. They're actually like a kind of papery flower that I got at Walmart. I glued little beads to it, painted some orange to pick up on the orange of her sunflower in her hat, and then I resined it. So they're hard now, and that's why they're shiny, but they were papery before. I love her. She's awesome. And it was just so cool that Ray got us American Girl. So we're definitely going to update our American Girl collection video at some point, because since the last one we filmed, we have 8 dolls, which was totally unexpected. But we're not updating it this year. We'll probably update it in 2024 because we usually do like even numbered years, and you know, I like the new Girl of the Year.
Did you say what you named number 13?
Oh, her name is Raymona after Ray. And Ramona is a very 90s name, so it's Raymona. I think it's fun. And I love how this is reversible with the old Girl of Today print, and even the hat's lined that way. It's so nostalgic. It's that time. Gingerbread house building. We've done this every year since 2015. It is not actually Christmas Eve. It is December 30th. We didn't feel like doing it on Christmas Eve, and we're finally getting around to doing it.
Andy must have the cameras out because he's singing opera.
This year's house is not as very exciting compared to the Barbie one of last year. They didn't really have a great selection, so I went with this pre-built one because we suck at building gingerbread houses. And we have so many dolly helpers this year. They are over lined up for the photo because these are all of our American Girls we've added this year. Don't judge, I'll explain later. It's very fancy. Walmart exclusive includes this pre-built gingerbread house.
Hey, how come you didn't pretend we had already assembled?
Oh, I mean, we made this. We made
this ourselves. The roof is staying on. It's perfect.
We have the piping bag with the icing. We have these really cool sprinkles.
We made these too.
And the candy cane things, and these fake screech. We made them all. So we're gonna try. I think I'm gonna try to replicate that.
Good luck. Trouble already?
It doesn't like stick.
I hear the cat drinking.
It's ASMR.
I was gonna say that, but I couldn't remember the right word.
A lot of people say listening to like the sounds of dolls getting washed is like ASMR sounding. Oh, this looks terrible. Already managed to screw it up. I mean, I could always spread it out with a knife. I think I'm gonna do that. Are you? No, I want you to film what I'm doing here, not me.
Oh!
Because I'm just doing like a few shots, not like... I'm just gonna spread this out with a
I
knife.
was filming your face because you're pretty.
You look like Rosha right now. This is like not easy because it didn't come in like a piping bag like it usually does. They make you pour it from a pouch into this bucket. Yeah, that's not gonna be enough icing to get to stick. Those are too heavy, Colleen. This is fugly.
I think it's gorgeous.
And I hate it and I want to quit. Colleen! Ta-da! Fugly gingerbread house is finished. It's not one of the ugliest ones we've done. Believe it or not, they've been uglier. If you haven't watched the previous holiday editions, that's falling. Yeah, the icing didn't do a very good job sticking. And they really didn't give you a lot to decorate. And honestly, the gingerbread sprinkles are cute, but they kind of look like the guinea pigs and chinchillas alfalfa pellets. Like, that's the color.
Oh my
of
god,
that.
they do!
And these are the roof Colleen decorated. I didn't bother with the sides because again, they didn't give you a lot, and I'm not gonna buy extra stuff like because it's all gross candy, like it tastes nasty. So we just use it for the photo and then we chuck it because we couldn't have this out if we wanted to. Oliver would eat it. Yes, he would eat it. He has pica. And it is technically a food item. So these are all of the dolls that we got this year. Now, in my defense, we were given 5 of them. So she was a Christmas gift, as you saw earlier. She was a Christmas gift, as you saw earlier. And then if you watched my Christmas haul video, Peridot and Krissa were from Colleen's friend. They belong to her daughter. And Jolene, who is the Julie doll, showed up later. She'll have her own separate transformation video. I wasn't planning on doing it, but
and
yeah.
we did the Corinne and Gwen damage so early in the year that I don't even think they count
actually
anymore.
bought Corinne in December of last year on the pre-order. She didn't show up until like January 4th or something. And then obviously you know about Kira because I had a video on her. And then these two are the only ones that I haven't really shown and specifically talked about. But Connie I got at the flea market for really cheap, like $10. And Sage, it was really only super naughty one that you don't know about that I bought on eBay. But I've wanted Sage forever. I just never mentioned wanting her on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed our holiday edition of Dolly Diaries, although it wasn't very holiday-ish. And until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.